Hello, we're excited to give you an overview of the Fall Options Studio, Untangling Harm from Home. We're landscape architects from Mithun, an integrated design firm located in Seattle, Washington, on the lands of the Coast Salish, Duwamish, Muckleshoot, Puyallup, Suquamish, and Tulalip peoples. This studio will be taught by Laura Dergarian, Shannon Lee, Chuck McDowell, and Deb Gunther in a hybrid format.
The studio will prompt students to consider relationships to place and grapple with the complexities of places that are both homes and harmful. The studio will explore these concepts through case studies on contamination, remediation, adaptation strategies, and relationships to place both personally and through site visits in Seattle.
Throughout this studio, you will work closely with Mithun's landscape architecture and urban design teams. Located on Seattle, Washington's waterfront at Pier 56, Mithun works on projects up and down the West Coast, from additional offices in San Francisco and Los Angeles. This studio builds from Mithun's practice area in climate change adaptation and resilience, including moving towards decolonizing the design process for the Sea to City Design Challenge, and long-standing work with communities engaged in self-determination, such as North Richmond, California, and the Central District of Seattle.
In Seattle, students will explore the concepts of the studio both personally and within the context of the South Park neighborhood. Located along the Duwamish Waterway, which is a 5-mile Superfund site, South Park is one of the most diverse neighborhoods in Seattle with a vibrant community and tight-knit culture. The neighborhood sits within a formal tidal floodplain of the Duwamish River, which prior to industrialization was a critical tidal habitat. This area has been a home for people for more than 12,000 years, first and still to the Duwamish tribe, and more recently to farmers and immigrants. Over the last century and a half, the physical area has changed drastically. In the early 1900s, the Duwamish River was straightened into an industrial waterway and deeply contaminated. In the 1950s, Highway 99 was built through South Park with only 2 pedestrian crossings, severing the neighborhood and causing poor air quality conditions. Today, Highway 99 is an underutilized transit corridor, and its removal is being advocated for by the South Park community organization Reconnect South Park. The city and state are also exploring the possibility of its removal with a feasibility study. Despite the health and ecological hazards of this place, South Park is also a place of deep community connection and advocacy. Duwamish River People's Park is a newly opened park that is the direct result of decades of advocacy from the Duwamish River Community Coalition and others to remediate the contaminated Terminal 117 into a shoreline habitat and park. The Duwamish Valley program is moving towards greater community governance to help address current flooding and future sea level rise holistically, and organizations such as Seattle Public Utilities are exploring how they can support community through their water infrastructure investments in the South Park neighborhood. This studio will build off existing and documented community priorities for contamination remediation, adaptation, and connection to place.
There will be 3 visits to Seattle, and students will be responsible for coordinating their visas, travel, and accommodations. The first initial site visit will be October 7th, where students will visit South Park and learn about the neighborhood's history and community priorities. The mid-review and final review will be hosted at Mithun's Seattle office on Pier 56, where you'll get to meet people who work at Mithun, as well as reviewers in the greater Seattle area.
Throughout the studio, you'll have the opportunity to learn from Mithun's approach to the design process through hands-on, on-site, and collaborative methods. We hope you choose to explore these topics and places with us this fall, and we look forward to working with you.